The royal family stands on a precipice. Princess Anne and Kate Middleton have unexpectedly combined their efforts to challenge Camilla's growing sway within the monarchy. This bold alliance threatens to shake the very foundation of a centuries-old institution and leaves many wondering whether King Charles can maintain control over a storm that is brewing behind the gilded doors of Buckingham Palace. Today, we pull back the curtain on the palace intrigues that have the potential to redefine royal history forever. For countless generations, the crown has been a powerful emblem of continuity and order. However, whispers from the inner chambers now suggest the once solid bedrock of tradition is faltering under the weight of internal strife. Conflicts that were previously considered unimaginable have come to the forefront, and the repercussions could be severe. Why would Princess Anne and the universally admired Kate Middleton set their sights on challenging Camilla? What exactly is it about Camilla's influence on the king that has so many advisors and family members gravely concerned? These are not idle questions, and they have already begun to fracture not only the royal family, but the wider public. Stay with us, because by the end of this report, you will discover the tangled web of power plays unfolding behind palace walls and the shocking truths that are set to emerge. Just when the monarchy hoped to project a united front, revelations are surfacing that could permanently alter the face of royal leadership. In an era where every gesture is dissected by a watchful public, the spotlight has never been harsher nor more unforgiving. At the heart of the current crisis lies Camilla, who ascended to the title of Queen Consort alongside Charles. They have faced scrutiny for months, with every royal appearance generating debates about whether Camilla can truly shoulder the formidable expectations of her new role. While she shows outward calm, palace insiders hint at mounting anxiety and frustrations. Critics argue that Camilla's personal style, decision-making, and long-standing history with the king may be preventing her from seamlessly integrating into a position that comes with enormous symbolic weight. Meanwhile, Charles finds himself at the center of an intensifying maelstrom. His leadership is tested daily by members of his family who question the direction in which the monarchy is headed. Once perceived as a figure capable of transitioning Britain's royals into a modern era, Charles now grapples with deepening doubts regarding Camilla's capacity to command public respect. Even those who initially offered their support have begun to wonder if recent developments threaten the stable image of the crown. All of this turmoil is heightened by the quiet but resolute presence of Princess Anne. Long celebrated for her relentless devotion to royal protocol and service, Anne has gained admiration from those who see in her the embodiment of the late Queen's unyielding spirit. Uninterested in frivolous attention, she has nonetheless emerged as a guiding force during this turbulent period. Her unwavering sense of responsibility, combined with a deep respect for tradition, places Anne in stark contrast to Camilla's more controversial public image. It is this contrast that draws supporters to Anne's side, believing she stands for everything the monarchy was once revered for: integrity, dignity, and duty. By Anne's side is Kate Middleton, whose popularity seems to grow with every respectful curtsy and poised statement. Kate rarely speaks on contentious issues, but her actions resonate powerfully among the public. Her rapport with the people, her empathy during challenging times, and her graceful approach to royal responsibilities make her an influential figure who can shape perceptions both within and beyond the palace gates. In uniting with Anne, Kate signifies a formidable partnership, one that many suspect could challenge Camilla's influence on both King Charles and the institution at large. Observers are watching closely, waiting to see how these relationships will evolve under the unrelenting glare of cameras and the unwavering interest of the public. Will Anne's principled stance and Kate's widespread appeal carry enough weight to curb Camilla's ascendant role? Or will the Queen Consort successfully overcome this wave of resistance and secure her status as a vital part of Charles's reign? One thing is certain: the monarchy's once stable surface has been irrevocably cracked, revealing hidden tensions poised to alter the course of royal destiny. As the curtain lifts on this covert power struggle, more revelations are likely to emerge, casting a spotlight on the delicate balance that governs the House of Windsor. By the time these revelations become widely known, the monarchy could find itself forever changed. Be sure to stay until the conclusion as we delve into the motivations, secrets, and far-reaching implications of a conflict that stretches far beyond the walls of Buckingham Palace. In this dramatic chapter of royal history, the stakes could not be higher. What was once carefully concealed from the public is about to be unveiled, and with it may come a momentous shift in how we perceive the royal family and how the royal family perceives itself. Tension grows behind the gilded walls of Buckingham Palace, as observers wonder whether ancient customs can withstand the weight of heated internal strife, or whether sweeping change might topple the traditions that have underpinned the monarchy for centuries. King Charles, long expected to provide measured and thoughtful leadership, is now confronted by a chorus of both supportive voices and outspoken critics. Every choice he makes resonates through the corridors of power, leading many to suspect that Camilla's rising influence could overshadow what some see as the monarchy's core values. These internal struggles have spilled into the public sphere, reflecting a broader debate across British society. One side remains confident that the monarchy, grounded in time-honored rights, will weather the storm unscathed. The other contends that the turbulence is a symptom of an institution in need of profound reform. Quiet questions persist about whether Camilla and Charles can maintain the monarchy's central pillars and protect it from potential collapse. Each new day brings fresh revelations, fueling speculation about whether Anne and Kate will indeed pool their efforts to counter Camilla and Charles's decisions, or if the rift might deepen to a point where the royal family tears itself apart. Simultaneously, the unfolding drama between Princess Anne and Queen Consort Camilla intensifies, stoking public fascination and casting an ever larger shadow over the monarchy's future. Viewers worldwide remain in suspense, eager to learn how this confrontation might reshape the royal family as new and possibly explosive. Details await disclosure. Social media buzzes with theories and allegations, indicating that behind closed doors tensions have surged into broader public awareness. According to sources close to the palace, the roots of Anne and Camilla's differences can be traced to their opposing views on royal duties and how best to uphold the family's legacy. Princess Anne, lauded for her unwavering adherence to tradition and her remarkable commitment to service, is regarded by many as the embodiment of old-school royal reliability. Meanwhile, Camilla, whose transformation into a widely acknowledged figure took considerable time, has drawn criticism in her capacity as queen consort, with observers questioning both her methods of leadership and her inclination to tweak long-held royal protocols. Among the most frequently cited points of contention is Anne's rumored dissatisfaction with some of Camilla's proposed adjustments to official ceremonies. News of these alleged disagreements has only heightened a sense that something larger lurks beneath the surface, a clash of philosophies that places two formidable women at odds. Supporters on both sides argue passionately over what the monarchy requires in this modern era, be it a renewed reverence for custom or a willingness to break from rigid tradition to remain relevant. Each fresh account from within the palace amplifies the public's fascination, hinting that these disputes could be symptomatic of a greater test confronting the entire royal institution. As the monarchy edges closer to a possible turning point, many wonder whether it can still balance its deeply traditional nature with demands for transparency and modernization. The decisions made by King Charles, and by extension Camilla, Anne, and Kate, may well define the monarchy's trajectory for decades. Against this charged backdrop, speculation runs high that Anne's alliance with Kate could strengthen, fueled by their shared deference to tradition and a belief in preserving the monarchy's heritage. Supporters point out that while both women often avoid dramatic public pronouncements, their actions send a loud and clear signal of unity, an unspoken stand that could counterbalance Camilla's voice in determining the crown's evolution. In this swirling sea of uncertainty, nobody can predict with absolute confidence which path the monarchy will choose. Will Charles find a way to satisfy both the guardians of ancient custom and those advocating for progress? Does Anne's careful dedication and Kate's widespread appeal have the power to check Camilla's emerging vision of a modernized monarchy? And will the friction that has drawn so many onlookers soon break into the open, irrevocably altering how the royals are perceived at home and abroad? For now, the public waits for the next wave of revelations in this royal saga, fully aware that what has come to light so far might only be the beginning. In a setting where every gesture can hold centuries of tradition in its balance, the tension feels more palpable than ever. This unfolding story may ultimately determine whether the monarchy can maintain the delicate dance between timeless ceremony and the shifting expectations of a modern world, or if deep-seated disagreements will spark a lasting change that reshapes the fabric of the royal family forever. Buckingham Palace have captured public attention, with social media soon splitting into two factions. One that stands by Princess Anne as a symbol of tradition and unshakable service to the monarchy, and another that supports Camilla's efforts to usher in a new, more modernized approach to the crown. The drama intensified after reports emerged of Princess Anne allegedly criticizing Camilla's proposed changes, particularly when it comes to redistributing royal duties. Though specific details remain murky, many believe this conflict centers on vastly different leadership styles, or even at its core, a battle for influence within the royal family. As tensions climb ever higher, the public's gaze on the monarchy sharpens. Throughout the media, debates rage on. Can Camilla's push for progressive change strengthen the royal house? Or is the essence of tradition being compromised? It's no surprise that much of the scrutiny has been directed toward Queen Consort Camilla, who, despite her calm public persona, reportedly struggles with the weight of these continued criticisms from Anne. Sources close to her indicate that Camilla feels troubled and at times even betrayed by her strained relationship with her royal counterpart. Allegedly, Camilla has confided her frustrations to select friends, troubled by the toll this ongoing scrutiny takes on her. While supporters of Princess Anne argue that her recent actions are not born of personal animus, but rather a determined effort to defend the time-honored values that she believes are essential to the monarchy's survival. Values that she feels are best embodied by her late mother, Queen Elizabeth II. Anne's unwavering sense of duty drives her belief that the proposed changes could dismantle the very foundation of the royal family. At the same time, concerns continue to swirl around Camilla's growing influence over King Charles and decision-making within the palace. Allegations of her behind-the-scenes power, particularly over key personnel decisions, have sparked whispers that Anne's political maneuvering within the family may be in decline. Certain long-standing allies of Anne, according to reports, have been reassigned or moved to different posts without clear explanation, strengthening suggestions that her role in the royal household is gradually eroding. As these events unfold, the monarchy faces difficult questions that ripple across British society. Can the royal family continue to honor its traditions while adapting to the modern world, especially when these internal disputes rise to the surface? Or will the cumulative weight of these struggles irreparably damage the institution's standing both at home and abroad? The stakes have never been clear, and within it all, rumors persist about a royal secret. The alleged private diaries of Princess Anne and the late Queen Elizabeth could potentially offer insights into the heart of this royal drama, leaving viewers imaginatively guessing what revelations might soon come to light that could transform everything we know about the future of the monarchy. Only time will tell how this complex family saga ultimately plays out. Public curiosity about the developments unfolding behind the ornate gates of Buckingham Palace has surged to extraordinary levels. Across social media platforms, opinions have polarized into two distinct factions. One side champions Princess Anne as an unwavering symbol of tradition and devoted service, while the other praises Camilla for her attempts to modernize the monarchy and lead it into a new era. Whispers of a particular flashpoint center on accusations that Anne openly criticized Camilla's proposed shifts in royal duties, although the exact details remain veiled in ambiguity. This alleged disagreement has only fueled mounting speculation and triggered heated debate, drawing the public deeper into the drama. Observers and commentators alike propose differing interpretations of what lies behind the discord. Some attribute it to a clash of leadership philosophies, arguing that Anne and Camilla simply approach royal management in fundamentally different ways. Others suspect a more consequential power struggle, suggesting that each woman is intent on securing greater sway over decisions made within the household. As reports of tension continue to surface, the monarchy faces renewed scrutiny that has grown steadily more intense, and many are unsurprised that the Queen Consort has emerged as the focal point of the controversy. Informed sources claim that Camilla, despite outward calm and a polished public persona, has been profoundly distressed by the friction with Anne. Though she has done her utmost to keep a dignified appearance in public, insiders suggest she feels abandoned and disillusioned, sharing with close confidants the emotional toll of facing pointed criticisms at a time when she is determined to stand alongside King Charles. From Camilla's perspective, her efforts to uphold her role during a challenging period remain underappreciated by those who question her influence and motives. Supporters of Princess Anne counter that her perspective arises from a deep-rooted sense of obligation, to the values she believes were integral to the late Queen Elizabeth II's reign. Known for her relentless commitment to duty, Anne allegedly fears that certain proposed updates risk undermining the centuries-old foundation of the monarchy. In her view, if royal traditions become too fluid, they may lose the enduring essence that has cemented the monarchy's place in the national consciousness. At the same time, rumors abound regarding the scope of Camilla's input on matters ranging from ceremonial protocol to personnel decisions. Informants claim she wields considerable authority over palace affairs, so much so that people once considered Anne's allies have reportedly been shifted to other responsibilities without clear explanation. This sudden reshuffling has intensified speculation that the princess's influence over key royal matters is on the decline, prompting urgent questions about the family's ability to preserve both its stability and relevance. Amid these uncertainties, Britain is left to wonder whether the monarchy can honor its storied past while engaging meaningfully with a swiftly evolving society. Will ongoing disagreements remain internal, allowing the family time to reconcile and strike an equilibrium between tradition and progress? Or will deeper rifts undermine public confidence in an institution that has long functioned as a symbol of continuity? Many note that only time can reveal the true outcome of this intricate saga, but one thing is indisputable. The stakes have rarely been higher for an institution already shouldering immense historical responsibility. Just as the country grapples with these questions, rumors of a hidden trove of personal reflections, namely the private diaries said to belong to Princess Anne and the late Queen Elizabeth II, suggest that further bombshell revelations could be on the horizon. These documents, if they exist and come to light, might cast an entirely new perspective on the power dynamics, alliances, and private thoughts that shape this renowned family. Until then, the royal drama continues to unfold in the public eye, leaving citizens and onlookers worldwide waiting to see how this complex chapter in British history will ultimately conclude. The speculation surrounding Buckingham Palace is reaching a boiling point, with growing discussions about the private diaries of Queen Elizabeth II. According to those close to the royal family, these diaries could hold the key to unlocking deep-seated tensions within the monarchy and may provide further insight into the ongoing crisis. Rumors abound that the late Queen, in her final years, expressed concerns about Camilla's increasing influence over King Charles, fearing it might damage the reputation of the monarchy. Though the contents of these diaries remain unconfirmed, the mere possibility of such revelations has sparked public furor. Insiders believe that Princess Anne, ever the defender of royal traditions, might use these private writings as evidence in her battle against Camilla's growing role. Such a move could drastically reshape public opinion and sway support in Anne's favor. However, this strategy comes with its own risks, as the potential fallout from releasing these intimate reflections could have consequences no one can fully predict. While the royal family's internal struggles captivate the world, another fascinating twist involves Kate Middleton. Recently, the Princess of Wales sparked attention at a royal event, where she appeared to avoid interacting with Camilla. Though Kate rarely speaks out on such matters, her actions were widely seen as a gesture of support for Princess Anne's efforts to maintain the monarchy's legacy. Those close to Kate suggest that she shares Anne's belief in preserving the monarchy's time-honored traditions, but also supports gradual modernization, ensuring that the image of the monarchy evolves without completely disregarding the values left behind by Queen Elizabeth. Amid all the drama, Prince William finds himself stuck between two contrasting views. As the future king, he has acknowledged the need for reform to ensure the monarchy remains relevant, but he is also deeply aware of his duty to uphold the traditions fiercely defended by Anne and Kate. This ideological divide has prompted fierce debates, not just within the family, but also among the public, as every word, gesture, and decision is scrutinized. One of the most compelling aspects of this brewing conflict remains the potential publication of Queen Elizabeth's personal diaries, which allegedly contain bold assertions and fears regarding Camilla's role and influence over King Charles. If Anne were to release these writings, they could prove pivotal in reinforcing her position, though this would also unleash a wave of scrutiny upon its authorship and intentions. Camilla, for her part, is said to already feel the pressure, knowing that her role is increasingly questioned by the public and the press. Despite maintaining her composure in public appearances, insiders claim she feels isolated and deeply hurt by both the ongoing criticism and the possibility of Anne using the Queen's diaries against her. To counter the mounting criticisms, Camilla's team is reportedly planning a major public relations campaign to improve her image. This will focus on highlighting her charitable work, her unwavering support for King Charles, and her efforts to modernize the monarchy for a contemporary world. However, with the rising popularity of Anne and Kate, Camilla may find it increasingly difficult to convince the public of her sincerity and capability. The future of the monarchy continues to hang in the balance. Public opinion is sharply divided, and the stakes have never been higher. Will Camilla be able to redeem herself and secure a lasting place in the royal family story? Or will Princess Anne's commitment to tradition, bolstered by the influence of Kate, turn the tide in favor of preserving the monarchy as it was? The answer may soon be revealed in what promises to be one of the most challenging chapters in royal history. Public speculation has intensified around what might lie within the private diaries allegedly kept by Princess Anne and Queen Elizabeth II during her final years on the throne. Insiders suggest that these journals could reveal candid insights into hidden tensions at the heart of the royal family, possibly adding even more turmoil to a monarchy already under strain. Whispers persist that Queen Elizabeth II recorded her personal reflections on everything from the family's long-term stability to her fears about Camilla's growing influence on King Charles. If these records exist and contain genuine concerns, they might reinforce the idea that Camilla's heightened role risks endangering the monarchy's reputation. Although no official statement has confirmed any of these rumors, the mere hint of the diaries has fueled passionate debate. Some palace observers claim that if Princess Anne were to reference these private writings as proof that the late Queen shared her unease about current changes, public support for Anne's defense of tradition could surge. Yet such a step carries enormous potential consequences. The diaries could vindicate those who believe Camilla's influence borders on excessive, but revealing the Queen's most intimate thoughts would also be a dramatic move that nobody can entirely predict. It may bolster Anne's position in the court of public opinion, but it could simultaneously create an unprecedented breach in the monarchy's long-standing code of confidentiality. As these stories circulate, Kate Middleton has become an unexpected figure of intrigue. During a recent public event, she seemed to avoid meaningful interaction with Camilla, igniting a wave of discussion across social media. While Kate rarely offers direct commentary, her demeanor that day was interpreted by many as a subtle endorsement of Princess Anne's commitment to upholding time-tested royal values. Sources close to the Princess of Wales emphasize that Kate firmly believes in gradual progress and modern updates that do not undermine the institution's core heritage. Unlike Camilla, who is viewed by some as eager to rewrite traditions on a larger scale, Kate appears to favor preserving the monarchy's storied past and carefully guiding it toward a more contemporary image. Her supporters argue that this gentle but consistent approach aligns far more closely with the legacy that Queen Elizabeth II left behind. Caught in the middle is Prince William, the direct heir to the throne. He must balance the pressing demand for reform, ensuring the royal family stays relevant to younger generations, against the deep reverence for tradition championed by Anne and implicitly supported by Kate. These competing expectations place William in a challenging position. He is acutely aware that missteps during this critical period could erode public faith in the monarchy. Yet he also understands the dangers of making changes too rapidly, at the risk of alienating citizens who cherish the family's sense of continuity. In this tense environment, every gesture made by senior royals sparks discussion, speculation, and at times outright disagreement among the monarchy's loyal following. Palace watchers remain especially interested in the rumored content of Queen Elizabeth II's diary entries. The suggestion that she might have openly expressed doubts about Camilla's intentions has proved particularly sensational, setting off a flurry of media theories on just how far these concerns went. Did the late Queen foresee fractures within the family if Camilla grew too dominant? Did she feel uneasy about Charles relying too heavily on Camilla's perspective? Some accounts claim that any mention of Camilla in the diaries includes both guarded endorsements of her public efforts and worrisome cautions about how her influence might affect the monarchy's reputation. Until these documents come to light or are confirmed to exist, such questions can only spark further conjecture. But the possibility alone has made the diaries a lightning rod for speculation. According to individuals sympathetic to Camilla, The queen consort regards these rumors and allusions to her potential missteps as unfair scapegoating for problems that have simmered beneath the royal surface for decades. While Camilla's aim, they say, is to streamline certain royal traditions and ensure that the monarchy resonates with modern audiences, critics see such changes as too abrupt and too dismissive of a heritage that has spanned centuries. In private, some sources claim Camilla has shared her frustration, telling confidants she never intended to weaken the family's sense of unity. She reportedly feels that her efforts to support King Charles are being viewed through a distorted lens, one that overlooks any positive achievements and magnifies every perceived lapse. The situation has escalated to the point where Camilla's circle is rumored to be exploring new strategies to bolster her public reputation. These efforts might include highlighting her charitable initiatives, emphasizing her continued loyalty to Charles, and showcasing a respectful approach toward ceremonial duties. Yet public sympathies continue to shift toward Princess Anne and Kate. Anne's straightforward, duty-centered persona has long endeared her to those who value the monarchy's historical gravity, and Kate's measured diplomacy provides a refreshing balance to the more vigorous attempts at reform that many link to Camilla. This blend of Anne's unwavering devotion and Kate's modern but respectful spirit seems to resonate with a population that yearns for stability in uncertain times. Amid this swirl of rumor and intrigue, urgent questions loom over the monarchy's future. Could the royal family effectively reconcile the seemingly contrasting drives for modernization and steadfast tradition? Is it feasible that Camilla, in spite of her critics, could still manage to rehabilitate her image and align her vision with the broader goals of the crown? Alternatively, might the diaries, if they do surface, give Anne and Kate the perfect justification for insisting on a more conservative, less disruptive path for the monarchy? At present, there is no easy answer, and each unfolding day brings its own set of revelations, pronouncements, and social media flare-ups. While some expect that tensions will eventually cool behind closed palace doors, others suspect that the monarchy is now approaching a pivotal moment in its centuries-long narrative. The competing forces of tradition and reform, combined with personal loyalties, invisible pressures, and deep-seated family history, could culminate in decisions that shape the institution's direction for decades to come. Whatever path the royals choose, the outcome will very likely reverberate well beyond the palace gates, influencing public sentiment in the monarchy's own sense of self. For now, the tension surrounding Camilla, Anne, Kate, and the possibility of revealing the late Queen's personal writings continues to captivate the nation. Every whisper seems to point to an impending climax, one that might either reinforce the monarchy as a time-honored beacon of continuity or catapult it into a period of profound, perhaps irreversible, transformation. Unsurprisingly, the question of whether Camilla can redeem herself, or if Anne's moral authority will prevail, remains the focal point of endless speculation. Should those private diaries indeed see the light of day, they may hold the power to shift allegiances and assumptions in astonishing ways. Until then, the public's fascination continues, and the monarchy stands on a knife's edge, uncertain which vision, Camilla's or Anne's, will guide it into the future. Rumors of a deepening power struggle have reached every corner of Britain, leaving the country asking whether the royal family can survive its own internal discord. The once subtle alliance between Princess Anne and Kate Middleton now appears more visible than ever, especially after witnesses claim Kate deliberately avoided a customary gesture of deference toward Queen Camilla at a recent public function. Many view this as a calculated move, a subtle but potent signal that Kate supports Anne's desire to safeguard the traditions passed down by the late Queen Elizabeth II. The uproar that followed only added momentum to speculation about how this strained relationship will affect King Charles and the future of the monarchy itself. Those closest to Charles paint a picture of a ruler wrestling with a profound dilemma. On one side is Princess Anne, the very image of loyalty and devotion to inherited custom. On the other is Camilla, whom Charles depends on for stability and partnership in a rapidly changing world. Although Charles has attempted more than once to reconcile these competing visions, insiders reveal that each effort at compromise has fallen flat. Instead, tension continues to ratchet upward, fueled further by the sudden emergence of a potential legal dispute over Queen Elizabeth's personal journals. If these highly sensitive writings truly exist, The late Queen's candid thoughts on Camilla's rising prominence might come to light, sparking greater turmoil not only within the family, but among the entire British public. Accounts from palace insiders describe the diaries as offering frank insights into Queen Elizabeth's private doubts about the monarchy's trajectory. According to rumors, her notes reflect a growing concern that Camilla's influence over Charles, while comforting to him personally, could dilute the institution's long-standing prestige. With each new mention of these secret records, suspicion spreads that Anne could use them in a legal context to bolster her warnings about Camilla's modernizing agenda. While some people applaud this possibility, others warn that exposing such intimate thoughts would be an unprecedented step, and a hugely risky one that might spark lasting damage to the crown's aura of decorum. At the heart of this discord lies an ideological clash that resonates far beyond palace walls. Princess Anne and Kate Middleton stand for the monarchy's traditional code of conduct, arguing that the respect, formality, and continuity of past generations provide a vital anchor for the nation. By contrast, Charles and Camilla embody the push to evolve, believing that connecting more personally with modern audiences will keep the royal family relevant in an era of constant global change. On social media, the debate is already polarized. In one camp, supporters rally around Anne, portraying her as the rightful guardian of the late Queen's heritage. In the other, proponents champion Camilla's bid to refashion the monarchy, praising her and Charles for their willingness to face contemporary realities. Within this public tug-of-war, Kate has cultivated an image of quiet resolve. She rarely issues outright statements, yet her actions speak volumes. Any indication that she might have deliberately withheld a gesture of respect from Camilla is bound to be interpreted as a visible show of loyalty to Anne. Those who admire Kate cite her blend of modernity and reverence for tradition, suggesting that she and Anne are aligned in wanting to adapt the royal family carefully and not through abrupt, sweeping measures. This approach contrasts starkly with perceptions, possibly unfair, of Camilla's efforts as abrupt or even dismissive of the past. For King Charles, the stakes could hardly be higher. He carries the responsibility of steering the monarchy through a cultural landscape that some describe as drastically different from that of Queen Elizabeth's reign. He recognizes the need to keep the crown from becoming an artifact, yet the unrelenting drama and speculation surrounding his wife's role have placed him on the defensive. Every overture at peace only seems to raise the question of where Charles himself stands in this clash over tradition and progress. Critics wonder if he can truly make impartial decisions when Camilla's position is so close to his own. What was once an internal quarrel has morphed into a full-blown national conversation about the monarchy's identity. People of older generations, nostalgic for Queen Elizabeth's steady leadership, often line up behind Anne's insistence on continuity. Younger voices who want the royals to reflect evolving social attitudes lean toward Charles and Camilla, who appear open to transformation and a more approachable style. Meanwhile, the rumored existence of the late Queen's personal diaries intensifies all this friction and raises the possibility of revelations that could shift public opinion in an instant. If Princess Anne does invoke those journals, she may validate her stance in the eyes of many, but she also risks provoking a crisis that could split the House of Windsor in ways unimaginable mere months ago. For now, the specter of a legal showdown lingers, and the monarchy faces the kind of uncertainty that few living Britons can recall. Allies of Anne see in her an unshakable moral center, a steadfast custodian of everything the crown has symbolized for centuries. Admirers of Camilla and Charles assert that the monarchy cannot endure into the coming decades without shedding some of its opaqueness and embracing a more relatable image. That this dispute touches on the late Queen's legacy only heightens the emotional weight for observers worldwide. Each camp views itself as the rightful inheritor of her mission, while palace protocols and personal loyalties become further entangled in a game of intrigue played out in the public eye. Where this saga will lead remains an open question. If the diaries prove real, and if Anne chooses to publicize them in defense of her argument, the monarchy might face one of its most consequential reckonings in living memory. Alternatively, a late-breaking compromise or a rallying show of unity could allow the family to present a reinvigorated front, even as it debates the merits of tradition versus reform. For now, all signs point to continued discord and a watchful public, eager for the next twist. With each passing day, The emotional and political stakes climb, underscoring that this is far more than a mere family quarrel. It is a defining moment in the monarchy's ongoing story, one that could influence the essence of Britain's royal institution for a generation or more. The British monarchy stands on the precipice of one of its most turbulent chapters yet. Behind the ancient gates of Buckingham Palace, internal conflicts, family secrets, and shifting rivalries have ignited a firestorm that threatens to redefine the future of the crown. The divisions within the royal family have taken center stage, teasing explosive revelations that could leave a permanent mark on modern royal history. While Queen Camilla faces growing distrust both within the family and among the public's attention shifts to the emerging bond between Kate Middleton and her husband Prince William, as well as Princess Anne's unwavering commitment to tradition. Those within the inner circle of the royal family whisper of Camilla's increasing influence over King Charles, raising alarm among many who fear that her ambition may be clouding the monarchy's long-term stability. Camilla's actions are now under closer scrutiny, with critics accusing her of focusing more on consolidating her own power than preserving the monarchy's centuries-old legacy. As tensions rise, uncertainty mounts over her role within the royal structure, forcing Britons to question whether her approach ultimately threatens the values held most dear by the monarchy. By contrast, Kate Middleton and Prince William continue to define themselves as the future of the British royal family. With their down-to-earth image and relatable demeanor, the younger royals have effectively captured the public's admiration. They represent an evolution of the monarchy, dynamic, engaging, and modern, two faces of royalty that the public can relate to, making them immensely popular across generations. This newfound energy they've injected into the monarchy has set them apart from the controversies surrounding the older generation of royals, who are embroiled in increasing struggles for influence. However, at the heart of this battle stands Princess Anne, the quiet force of tradition and stability. A steadfast advocate for the enduring values of the late Queen Elizabeth II, Anne has become the emblem for conservative members of the monarchy who desperately cling to the legacy of their forebears. Though she shuns the limelight, her dedication to preserving the monarchy's principles speaks volumes. For many of her supporters, Anne is the moral bedrock of the institution, holding firm against the tides of reform that threaten to undo what so many have cherished for generations. The royal family is now at war, not just over internal quarrels, but over competing visions for its future. The image of monarchy is increasingly being scrutinized, with Camilla and King Charles representing the modernizing forces and Princess Anne embodying the custodianship of royal tradition. The infighting has raced into the public sphere, with media outlets and social media agitators polarizing the British public over the monarchy's future direction. Meanwhile, Prince William's role in this shifting drama remains cautious. As the heir to the throne, his position is fraught with complexity. Torn between supporting the modernization efforts championed by his father and mother-in-law and the traditionalist sentiments embodied by his Aunt Anne, William walks a tightrope. His measured approach and commitment to ensuring the monarchy remains relevant while maintaining respect for the past will prove crucial as the battle for the future of the crown intensifies. The clash between change and tradition is becoming impossible to ignore, with some gravitating toward Charles and Camilla's vision of the monarchy evolving to meet contemporary demands, while others argue that their actions risk irrevocably damaging public trust in the institution. The monarchy, long considered an unshakable pillar of British society, now finds itself at a crossroads, with family conflict spilling into the cultural consciousness. Will it embrace reform, or will it retreat into the elements of its heritage that have long shaped its identity? With each passing day, the drama coming out of Buckingham Palace casts a wide shadow over Britain. As the internal struggle between family members becomes more public, the monarchy stands to either reclaim its standing as an icon of stability or watch its image fracture beyond repair. Mounting turmoil envelops the royal family, thrusting the British monarchy into a period of unprecedented upheaval. Palace corridors now buzz with rumors of internal conflicts, whispered threats to reveal deeply buried family secrets, and a fierce contest for influence, together creating one of the most turbulent chapters in recent royal history. Observers at home and abroad sense that the monarchy stands at a crossroads, and the drama unfolding behind guarded palace gates has captivated millions, promising to leave an indelible mark on the legacy of Queen Elizabeth II. Signs of division among senior royals are becoming more evident with each passing day. Queen Camilla, although formally recognized in her position, faces rising skepticism from multiple angles. Critics question her true motives, pointing to her growing involvement in King Charles's decisions as a sign of ambition rather than a reflection of loyal service to the crown. Detractors accuse her of seeking to consolidate personal power, an allegation that causes alarm among those longing for tranquility and continuity within the monarchy. While these suspicions are not entirely new, Camilla's actions have inspired fresh concern, especially in a climate where family unity already appears strained. Amid this tension, Kate Middleton and Prince William continue to polish their public image as modern, approachable representatives of the royal line. Their dedication to charitable endeavors and ongoing efforts to connect with everyday citizens have earned widespread acclaim. Many Britons see in them the forward-looking spirit they want from the monarchy, one that balances tradition with genuine warmth and understanding. Their rising popularity stands in stark contrast to the discord among older generations, who seem increasingly at odds over how to navigate the crown's future. Princess Anne remains a pivotal figure in this ever-evolving saga. Her steadfast commitment to traditional practices and her reluctance to draw attention to herself make her an icon of continuity for those who revere Queen Elizabeth's values. Without grand speeches or dramatic gestures, Anne champions the customs handed down through the centuries. For many, she symbolizes the monarchy's enduring core, a testament to duty, responsibility, and a refusal to compromise on principles that have guided the family for generations. All of this unfolds amid mounting pressure on the institution itself. Not only are opinions divided within the palace, the public debate has grown more intense as details leak into the media. Social platforms overflow with heated discussions about whether the royal family must adapt to remain relevant or double down on its time-honored ethos. King Charles and Queen Camilla stand as emblems of a monarchy willing to reform. Yet detractors argue that their decisions undermine the public's trust. Meanwhile, those who champion Anne's unwavering stance worry that urgent calls for change may dilute the crown's essence beyond recognition. Into this charged atmosphere enters Prince William, maintaining a careful and measured approach. He appears determined to reconcile the drive for modernization, so necessary in a rapidly evolving world, with the obligations of preserving key traditions. His popularity with the public places him in a uniquely powerful position, but it also makes him more vulnerable to the shifting tides of expectation. Many wonder whether he can satisfy voices demanding fresh perspectives while still showing loyalty to the older generation's deep respect for ceremony and continuity. Speculation also intensifies regarding the fate of any hidden family information that could be disclosed, raising the stakes to new heights. The possibility of exposing private accounts or personal records from the late Queen Elizabeth has rattled palace insiders, who fear that one's private reflections might reshape public opinion in dramatic, unpredictable ways. Observers note that if these revelations come to light, they could either vindicate those insisting on tradition or amplify the urgency for sweeping change. Amid all this turmoil, the monarchy's credibility stands on precarious ground. The clashing visions within the royal household, combined with widespread public scrutiny, make it difficult for any one figure to unify the family or guide it beyond the present crisis. While some believe Charles and Camilla can successfully modernize the institution, others insist that only by upholding the rigorous, tested values championed by Anne can the royal family maintain its unique place in the national consciousness. Yet the question endures: can the crown reconcile these vastly different approaches without shattering its own foundations? Old guard supporters who fondly recall Queen Elizabeth's steady hand may be unwilling to accept a more informal, reform-focused direction, while younger generations clamor for a monarchy that speaks more directly to their experiences and concerns. Kate and William, straddling these two worlds, enjoy strong public goodwill, but must proceed carefully to avoid alienating either faction. In the end, this conflict has evolved into far more than a family quarrel. It is a pivotal test for the monarchy as a symbol of national identity and unity. Will the values and customs that defined previous reigns survive the growing demand for transparency and modernization? Or will the desire for change recast the monarchy into a new shape that few could have imagined a decade ago? With each passing day, the stakes rise, and the possibility of lasting repercussions grows more tangible. For now, it seems there are no easy answers. Alliances continue to shift. Gossip reaches fever pitch, and the once private tensions within the royal family have turned into a story with real consequences for Britain's constitutional heritage. Even seasoned experts admit that future events remain impossible to predict, and the coming months are certain to be among the most consequential in modern royal history. As these power dynamics play out, observers around the world watch closely, aware that the outcome will decide the character, and perhaps even the survival, of the British monarchy for years to come. The royal family stands at a crossroads, grappling with intensified scrutiny and growing doubts about whether its members can coexist in harmony. All eyes are on Prince William, who, despite carefully avoiding inflammatory statements, demonstrates a firm resolve to balance the weight of tradition with an awareness that society now demands modernization. As the next in line to wear the crown, William has already shown that he understands his eventual responsibility to restore faith in the monarchy once the dust settles on the current crises. By reaching out to the public in a calm, relatable manner and encouraging incremental reforms that do not abandon centuries of royal heritage, he appears poised to revitalize an institution under immense strain. Camilla, meanwhile, is engaged in her own uphill battle to recast herself in a more favorable light. Her allies point to her enthusiastic support of King Charles and to her involvement in charitable causes as proof of her dedication. Yet critics find these attempts at public relations unconvincing, asserting that they seem orchestrated rather than genuine. So far, she has struggled to embody the sense of unity and reliability traditionally expected of a queen consort, leading some observers to wonder if her aspirations might clash with public expectations for a figurehead of stability. As public trust in a once untouchable royal image continues to erode, the fear is that these very public disagreements might erode the monarchy's standing in a way that cannot be easily repaired. The divisions among leading figures have grown too visible to ignore. Charles and Camilla project a commitment to a modernized throne, one that reaches out more actively to everyday citizens. Princess Anne and Kate Middleton quietly uphold the belief that certain traditions must remain sacred, lest the monarchy lose the essence that made it a cornerstone of British life. The tension between these camps grows with each new rumor, and the public, seeing cracks in the once seamless royal facade, finds itself asking whether the Windsors can truly reconcile. The future of the crown may rest on the paths these individuals choose. Charles and Camilla are emblematic of change, yet recent controversies raise questions about whether that evolution is happening too quickly, or for the wrong reasons. Anne and Kate represent the stability and dedication that many associate with the late Queen Elizabeth II's reign, yet their approach can at times appear resistant to shifts that a new generation finds necessary. William occupies a position bridging both sides, hinting that progress is inevitable, but must be approached with reverence for what came before. Uncertainty pervades every discussion about how this strife will ultimately conclude. Will William and Kate emerge as the symbols of a royal renaissance, renewing the public's trust and upholding the monarchy's enduring mystique? Or could the influence of Charles and Camilla stretch the crown's credibility so far that it never fully recovers? Each day seems to produce fresh developments, from allegations of private disputes to glimpses of tenuous alliances, adding layers of intrigue to a drama that has already shifted global perceptions of the royal family. The monarchy's image now depends on finding a path out of this prolonged period of instability. Some believe that King Charles and Camilla will summon the unity and resolve required to salvage their reputation. Others imagine a scenario in which Princess Anne and Kate step forward as the protectors of Queen Elizabeth's enduring legacy, ensuring that long-standing customs are not swept aside by the tide of progress. Either way, every revelation ratchets up the tension, reminding the public that the future of one of the world's most storied institutions is in the balance. Where do your sympathies lie in this ever-evolving royal narrative? Should cherished traditions remain unaltered, or does the crown need to adapt decisively to today's expectations? Share your thoughts in the comments. Do you view Anne and Kate as the stalwart guardians of an unbreakable legacy? Or do you believe Charles and Camilla embody the fresh perspective needed in a changing world? If you are eager for even more revelations about the mysterious goings-on behind palace walls, subscribe to our channel, tap that like icon, and let us know where you call home. Your feedback energizes us to keep unearthing royal secrets and delivering captivating stories that spark spirited discussions. Join us as we watch history unfold before our very eyes.